And now to the issue of fuel scarcity in Nigeria. We'll be joined live by our correspondent, Perpetual Fasanmi-Peters, to bring us up to speed regarding what is happening in the filling station. Perpetual, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Glad to join you today.
Okay, fantastic. Just give us a sense of the situation right now where you are at the filling station.
All right, this is the filling station. You might call it one of those run by independent oil marketers. And as you can see, we hardly have anyone in here. And that's because the independent oil marketers are selling their own products at a higher rate. You know, the official rate is 568 naira. And so that's the situation we find ourselves in. But this is Ojoju. This is the area we call Ogunisi Road. And to a very large extent, the residents here are sort of lucky because they have about 2 or 3 filling stations that are run by the major oil marketers. And so they're not really feeling the pinch as some other persons in some other locations are in Nigeria. Because when I visited these other 2 stations, I saw that they were selling at the approved rate in Lagos, which is 568 naira. But when you go to places like that, you see that they have long queues. And after speaking to some of them, some of the people on the queue, they said they were coming from different parts of the state, different parts of this area, basically Keja, Ojoju area. And for them, they've been to some other places. A good number of the filling stations they visited were shut. And for those that were open, they were selling at a very high price. So some of them had to make their way down to this place, that's to the other stations that are selling at the regulated price.
Okay, now, apart from the buyers, Perpetual, apart from the buyers there at the filling station, were you able to speak to any retailers perhaps regarding why there is an increase in fuel prices? What could be the reason, the likely causes of the increase?
All right, so for the people I try to talk to, it's like a rule for them. They do not volunteer information to journalists, and I think it's an instruction that's given to them, but they were willing to speak off camera. And for them, they are saying that, especially here, they're talking about the fact that they're independent marketers, and so they do not buy directly from NNPC. And I was like, okay, so why are you not buying directly from NNPC? And then the young man told me that NNPC probably, that's his word, that probably NNPC does not have enough supply, for the major oil marketers and independent oil marketers. And so they have to buy from the tank farms. And at the tank farms, the ex-depot price is more expensive compared to what the major oil marketers get from the NNPC. And so when it gets down here, of course, they have to do the markup. And that's why we see that the price at the independent filling stations, independent marketers owned or controlled filling stations, are actually more expensive. And of course, I also remember listening to one of the interviews of the PRO of Ipman, and he said the same thing. He talked about how they had to get gas from the tank farms. And even though NNPC has said they have a 30-day supply of PMS, the PR that Adedugba was talking, and he said that he doesn't believe they have up to that, because if they do have up to that, just like what this young man I spoke to here said, they would have been able to supply all of them and not just the major oil marketers. So basically, those are some of the challenges, and those are some of the reasons that they have volunteered for what we're experiencing right now. And like I said, the people here are really lucky. They are not facing what other people are facing in other places, because they have about 2 or 3 filling stations that are run by the major oil marketers. So, the queues are there, yes, but you cannot compare what's happening over there to what's happening in some other places. This is like a depiction of what you get in a lot of places. The filling stations are shut down, or even when they are open,
all right,
not so many people are coming in.
Okay, thank you so much for that live update. Our correspondent, Perpetual Fasanmi-Peters. Thank you so much.